Hey folks, Dr. Gerstmar from Aspire Natural Health. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you happen to be listening to this, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, it's still tough times, right? We still have the COVID-19 lockdown, the COVID-19 crisis going on, and unfortunately, things are looking like they're going to get worse before they get better. So I hope you're staying safe and staying healthy. You know, we've been talking about crises the past couple of podcasts, and I want to continue that today. When we're faced with a crisis, whether it is a big one, like a global, national one, like this with the virus, or whether it is a personal one, like being diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, going into a flare of autoimmunity, or a flare of digestive symptoms where there's a lot of pain and disruption to our lives, all of these crises are a problem, right? They all stink. We wish they weren't here, but we have to face the reality that they are. Now, the important thing to do in any of these crises is to separate in our mind what we can control and what we cannot control. So it's important we have these two buckets, what we can control and what we cannot control, because there are two dangers here. The first is by believing that we can control everything, we put ourselves in a place of fear, panic, anxiety, because there's all these things happening and we are unable to affect them. So when it comes to the virus, for example, what's happening in other parts of the world, even what's happening in other parts of the country and what's happening to other people outside of our sphere of influence are beyond our control, and we need to recognize that. Now, there are then, on the other side, there are the things that are actually within our control. First and foremost, there is our mindset and our reactions. Then there are the people that are around us, our friends, our family, our coworkers, our neighborhoods, our community. These are things which we have control over. So when we focus our actions on the things that we can control, then we get a sense of calm, a sense of peace, and we're able to take effective action. So by moving out of the things we cannot control, where there's a lot of fear and anxiety and doubt, into the things that we can control, not only do we change our mindset and our well-being, but we're also able to take effective action and actually make a difference. So whether it's dealing with personal things like digestion and autoimmunity, or global things like this COVID-19 outbreak, the most important thing is to separate what we can actually take effective action, what we have control over, from the things we do not have control over. So one of the ways that this manifests for a lot of people is by limiting the negative media consumption. In no way am I saying be ignorant, don't understand what's going on. But we have to recognize that when we have an understanding of what's going on, continuing to take more negative media in, whether that's news or social media or anything else, is not helping to inform us more. It's simply sucking us into a negative emotional state and spitting us out with things we cannot control. Instead, what I urge you to do is, once you have an understanding of where things are and what's going on, it's time to shut down that negative content and focus instead on the things that we can control. So, importantly here, we need some perspective. We need perspective. And this is where there are two main tools that we have available. The first is things that work on our mindset. So examples are exercise, meditation, and simply some time. You know that when you're highly spun up with emotion, you are unlikely to make good decisions. And the single greatest thing you can do then is simply to take some time. Go on a walk, sleep on it, have a shower, whatever it might be. Take a little time, get a little distance, and then our perspective re-engages and we're able to make better decisions. So first and foremost, our mindset is important. The second is having an outside perspective. So getting the perspective of cool, calm experts who are not all tied into the fear and the panic and the anxiety of the situation to help advise us on what's going on in the situation and what effective action looks like. All right. So first and foremost, whenever we're faced with a crisis, whether that's a personal or a global one, the first thing we need to be able to understand with some perspective is what is actually in our control and what is not in our control. Then simply we do our best. None of us is perfect here, but we do our best to set aside the things that are not in our control, because that's just a place of fear and panic. Instead, we focus on the things that are within our control, because that allows us to take effective action, gives us some calm, makes us feel much better, because these are the things we can do and we are actually doing them. All right, folks. So in this time of crisis, please focus on the things that are within your control, helping your friends, helping your family, helping your community, and work to keep your headspace in the right place so that you can approach things from a sense of calm and effective action. All right, that is it for me today. Listen, we're all locked down or mostly locked down now, so what is it a great time to do? It is a great time to read a book, and specifically a book that is focused on effective action instead of fear-mongering, blame, or shame. The book I would like you to read, I recommend that you read, is my best-selling book, The Clear Path to Health. I'm immensely proud of it. In it, I have distilled over 10 years of working with people with digestive issues and autoimmunity, tens of thousands of hours of study and work, and literally hundreds of thousands of dollars of education, school and education, and more. I've distilled that all down into a simple, easy to read book that lays out the principles of health and the principles of disease. You can get it by simply going to aspirenaturalhealth.com/book. That's aspirenaturalhealth.com/book. Pick it up. I would love to send it to you. Read it, understand the principles of health and disease, and you can use some of your time to come out better understanding what you need to do personally and your family, friends, and loved ones, what we need to do to stay healthy in the long term. And again, all you need to do to get it is go to aspirenaturalhealth.com/book. All right, folks, until next time, take care.